Okay, what's up, guys? So we are currently 3 weeks out today from the Toronto Pro. It's early in the morning, pre-cardio. Honestly, I just woke up super early because of hunger. So I decided I would do this Q&A because I always do these Q&As on my Instagram. I'm sure you guys see them if you follow me. But I figured it would be good to collect some good questions and then answer them for a YouTube video. You guys can actually see me talk about certain things. So gonna try not to make it too long. But yeah, let's just run through some of these questions that I get. I try to pick kind of like more of the personal ones so you guys can get to like know me a little bit better as opposed to like just like the X's and O's. That's something I might do for my next Q&A, just answer more like bodybuilding type questions. But for now, we'll just try to keep this one like mostly about just like me, I guess. Okay, first question. How old are you, and at what age did you really start to see serious bodybuilding results? So I'm 30 years old. Been bodybuilding since I'm like about 20 years old. And I would say, there was a lot of trial and error in those first like 5-6 years. It wouldn't be until I was about 26, 27 when I, hired a good coach, started to learn more about training and how to train with high intensity as opposed to trying to be in the gym 6 days a week, doing 20, 30 sets of workout with super high volume. I think that's something that held me back for a long time. So combining learning how to train properly, finding what exercises work well for me, learning the concept of progressive overload, combining that with good nutrition, that's when I really started to see results. And that would be probably around 2017, 2018. Next question. What part of your body do you feel you need or want to improve on? So for me, I've been constantly playing catch up, my whole career to try to bring my upper body up to my legs, which is pretty fortunate for a tall guy. Most tall guys don't have great legs, but I've been blessed in the genetic department there. The last year, it's been my back and my shoulders. That was the biggest part during my last off season. Just get more thickness front to back, and then just wider, more round cap shoulders. And that's still a focus for mine. But now, I'm actually at the point where my upper body has become pretty proportionate with my legs, which I'm happy about. But it's motivating me to start hitting my legs harder and get those even bigger. So it never ends. Any more tattoo ideas for the future? Yeah, I do, man. I'm constantly going back and forth with my tattoo artist. And then constantly backing out because of bodybuilding. So right now I just have like a forearm sleeve. I have a small tattoo on my chest. I do want to get my other forearm done. The only thing that's stopping me is that I use my left arm for all my side poses. And I think for bodybuilding purposes, it might be better just to not have anything there to be like distracting to the judges and stuff. So for now, I might just keep what I have because I really do love my forearm sleeve. I definitely do want more. I might just have to just see how bodybuilding goes and the evolution of it. And like, if tattoos become less and less of an issue, then I might get more while I'm competing, or I might wait till I'm done. Personal question, so don't feel obligated to answer, but how much revenue do you generate yearly with everything that you do? So I'm not going to give specifics here, obviously, but, between online coaching, that's probably my main income source. It used to be personal training, but now I'm fortunate enough to just run my online business and coach my online clients. Mostly my clients are lifestyle clients. I would say about 70%, and the other 30% are competitor clients. So that takes up the majority of my time. Also, I do make some revenue from some of my sponsors, like Jack Factory, for example. They support me really well, just for promoting their brand and things like that. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to turn bodybuilding and coaching into like a pretty lucrative thing. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of constant being on social media, putting out information, putting out knowledge, putting out, content for your sponsors and things like that. But I honestly love it, and there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. And I hope to, even after I'm done competing, to stay in the industry in a coaching form and working with companies and things like that. I just absolutely love this industry. So I'm really happy I've been able to make, a career from it, make money from it. Opinion on sumo deadlifts. Is it cheating? Yes. What is your favorite food for good fats? So I love like free range eggs. I think they're amazing. Really good healthy fats. Anytime I have those in my diet, I feel awesome. I think omega-3 from salmon's good. I think you get some healthy fats from red meat. You just don't want to overdo it with the saturated fats. Fish oil, just supplementing with fish oil is good. Macadamia nut oil, extra virgin olive oil. Like putting any of those things on your food raw are good fat sources. Avocados is another good one. And then, nut butters and stuff are okay. I think with the peanut butter, you got to watch that for some people. You might not realize it, but you might be slightly allergic to it. It can cause inflammation and stuff like that. So sometimes going for an almond butter might be better if you're into the nut butters. is 17 years old, too young to have the balance, doesn't exist mindset when it comes to bodybuilding. I want to go pro and be on the Olympia stage. I have already won 2 shows, basically sacrificed my whole social life. Yeah, I mean, when I decided I was going to take bodybuilding seriously and I wanted to go pro, you kind of come to the understanding that it's really hard to, have a lot of friends and party and stuff like that when you're trying to stay on top of your diet and progress in the gym and get the results, because the fact is bodybuilding is super competitive now. It's going more and more mainstream, so you're getting a lot more younger people getting into it, which is going to lead to more impressive physiques as time goes on. So if it is something you're serious about being a professional in or going to the Olympia, I think you do need to start at a young age, and you do need to take it serious. It doesn't mean you can't have spurts of balance. Like I have plenty of, maybe 2 to 3 months a year where I don't have, like I'm kind of like not seriously in training. I'm giving my body a break from training. And those are the times that I try to go out and have fun with my friends, maybe go out to a bar, have a couple drinks, something like that. So you can do it. It's just about timing in bodybuilding. Like you don't want to mess with your off-season, stages when you're trying to improve. And same thing in prep, obviously. You need to stay on top of what you're doing. Day of show, after stage is done, chill to eat whatever you want for the night. If you're back on diet the next day to reverse. Well, for example, after Toronto, I'll have 6 weeks before Vancouver, so I'll probably take maybe a week off of my diet. I'm not the type to go crazy. Obviously, I'm still going to be conscious. Like I don't want to put on 20 pounds in a week, but that would be very hard for me being 280 pounds with no fat. Like anything I eat, my body's just going to soak up, right? But yeah, after the show, I mean, I'm more so looking forward to just spending some quality time with my girlfriend, my friends. I don't really care where we go out to eat. I'm sure I've been eating the exact same diet, guys, for months now, and pretty much anything other than my diet food is super enjoyable to me. Like a ham and cheese sandwich would be amazing. So I don't really concern myself too much with that. It's more about just being with the people that I love and the people that support me. I'm assuming you're not much of a drinker given your dedication to bodybuilding, but when you do drink, what's your go-to? Anytime I do go out, usually just stick to vodka and water. Keeps you hydrated while you get a little bit of alcohol and get a little buzz. And then I find I barely ever have any hangover if I do that. Not that I'll ever drink enough to have a hangover. If I go out, I might have like 4 or 5 over the span of like 4 or 5 hours. Just enough to get a little buzz, let loose, and then tomorrow you can get back and just live your normal life. Like that's what I prefer when I go out. What's life in the bedroom like when you're in prep mode? Do you think it's better to abstain and be completely focused on your objective, or is there room for it, and could it help? Well, I mean, it's good to maintain your relationships, right? And if intimacy is something that's super important in your relationship, which I think for a lot of people it is, it's something that you should at least try to put an effort into, especially if your partner requires that. I mean, it gets to a certain point in prep where it's just not going to happen, though. Like, there's just no energy, no drive. And you just can't, even when you're trying to do it, you can't even focus because like you're hungry and tired, right? So, but usually around refeed days, or you might get a cheat meal here and there, you might get a little bit of extra energy boost, they can happen. They can happen. If you could go back in time and be anything you wanted, would you still choose bodybuilding or something else like pro basketball? Man, I feel so lucky that my life worked out the way it did, and I fell into bodybuilding, and it's turned into what it's turned into, so I wouldn't change a thing. Have you ever been fired from a job? Yeah, July 2020, I was a personal trainer at Good Life, and that's when the whole pandemic thing happened. And then I basically started my online coaching business to supplement my income because we couldn't work in the gyms. And then when I got back to the gym, after things started to settle down, they found out I had an online coaching business and they fired me, which was the best thing that ever happened to me because it put me on my own, gave me a kick in the ass, and then I've just been crushing ever since. Do jeans fit you? Don't think I've ever seen you in jeans at your current size. There's some I can get. I just don't like wearing jeans. I've never really saw the appeal in blue jeans. Like I don't even think they look that good and they're not comfortable. So I have one pair that fits me. They're like a bodybuilding company made them, but they're just like kind of super baggy and weird. So I don't really wear them. Does vaping affect bodybuilding, weed or Nick? I mean, I think anything in like excess can be negative. I think it's just all about moderation, right? Like, for me, I'll hit the Nick vape right now when I'm in prep and I'm starving. It helps a lot with appetite suppression, so I'll use it then. And for weed, usually just in the night times when I'm trying to settle down and go to sleep. Again, that really helps in prep. Sleep can be hard to come by, especially when you're hungry, and taking some of the compounds that we take can cause insomnia, so that is a major player in getting a good sleep for sure. How many times a week do you hit core? Right now, like 3 or 4 in prep. How old do you want to be when you get married? Not something I think about. I don't think there's like an age cap for that. I think you just kind of do it when it feels right with that person, like when the timing is right, and you're not going to stress yourself up by doing it. I think that would be my biggest concern. Has a newfie ever been on the Olympia stage? Yes, Frank McGrath, I believe it was 2011. Really look up to that guy. He's the first pro ever from here and the only other men's open pro bodybuilder besides myself. So I'm hoping to be the second. Do you consider bodybuilding an art, a sport, or a science? And don't cop out and say all the above. So bodybuilding to me is just like a lifestyle, right? Because you can bodybuild without competing, right? If you just stick to a meal plan and you're training to improve your body, you're bodybuilding. So that's a lifestyle. It's hard to say it's a sport because you're not necessarily competing against anybody besides yourself in the gym. Actually competing itself, I'd probably put that more in like the pageant category because, you're getting, you're preparing for a long time and then you put all these final touches on, like, girls' hair, makeup, tan. For us, it's like the tan, and some guys get makeup too. And then you're going out and just displaying yourself and hoping that the judges pick you, which is also subjective, right? So I think bodybuilding itself is more of a pageant. As far as art goes, yeah, I think like posing and stuff is art because people create their posing routines based on music. And if dance is a form of art, posing is a form of art because it's essentially the same thing. So I think it's just kind of, in a way, all of the above. Like bodybuilding has many different components and it depends on your approach and what your goals are with it. And that's going to kind of decide what it is to you, right? Okay, last question. How did you recover from the hamstring tear and how long did it take you to be back 100%? So I tore my hamstring around 9 weeks out. The only thing that really changed for me was that I couldn't walk for cardio. I had to start going to the gym to do the Stairmaster, so it actually made my cardio harder, which just like sped things up basically for the prep. And besides that, I just couldn't train hamstrings for like 4 weeks. Not being able to rest it completely and still having to do cardio definitely prolonged that injury. But I just knew as long as I didn't do any like actual training that caused pain or hurt it, that it would get better. And that's exactly what happened. So hamstring's all good now. I actually did deal with a calf tear a couple weeks ago that is healed now, but I'm still trying to get some swelling and water out of my leg. So hopefully that's it for the injuries this prep. But for me, it's always leg injuries in prep. I'm not sure why, but it happens. But anyways, guys, that's the first Q&A. I hope you enjoyed that. Hoping to do more of these. Had some fun doing it. So stay tuned for my Q&As on Instagram. I'll still answer a lot of those on Instagram, but I will be doing these Q&As as well just to give you guys some more person-to-person talking. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.